Hey there, I'm Vampire Phoenix, and this is my first monologue. I can promise you, it's probably gonna suck, but let's have at it anyway. Here are the reasons why I am looking forward to Anthem. Now, before you give me hate and tell me EA sucks, they're money grabbers, please just go watch the footage at E3. I'll probably put it up behind me here. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put something that I really just don't care about. Maybe it has nothing to do with video games. Maybe it's a cat. But for the most part, let's stay on subject. I'm looking forward to Anthem because I was, a hardcore Destiny player. And even before it came out, I was obsessed. I started to look up as much lore as I could, and there were channels like Terror Mantis that really got me into it, about like the connections between what it seemed it was going to be about, which had ties to like Dark Souls and this idea of dying and coming back to life and cyclical time, and they had some elements of it in there, but it fell short in so many levels. And I fought for Destiny for such a long time. I advocated for them, really. I stayed when most other people quit. I stayed when more people quit after that point. I even was there when I knew it was really bad. When it got to this really stale moment after taking King of just like nothing really going on, no reason to grind, still no real story other than a couple things. Everything in the Grimoire, which now that it's gone, it's funny that everybody misses. But I've always been the type of player that loves shooter games, that loves the idea of getting lost in a world that just has so much richness. I mean, look at Halo. That's one of the first games that I really got into. I mean, when I was younger, there was all sorts of different ones. I would beat Legend of Zelda for my brothers, especially the temples that they did not want to play. But with Halo, it really, you could just hand that off to anybody else, and it's a world that just builds upon itself. And that's what I saw in Destiny. It's a world that builds upon itself, and there are still elements of that in it, and hopefully they can take that and expand upon them. But there's so much they need to fix. We'll see. Now, as far as it goes, Anthem has this potential, and I'm going into this with a heavy dose of skepticism. I want to make sure that it is really good, and I'm not going to put as much obsession into it as I did Destiny. But I am looking forward to playing it. I am looking forward to the experience of this high mobility shooter that, even though it's not going to be the same as like seeing a bunch of, it's not an MMO, you're not going to see a lot of people at the same time. You're going to have, I think what they said was 4 people on a server most. Those are people you can team up with beforehand, or those are people that you just see randomly, but only 4 on a server, which is really kind of crazy to me, but it might really work. So we'll see how it plays, but first and foremost, it just looks like a game I want to explore. I want to get into the Javelin. I want to play with each one. For me, other games don't make me want to play with each one. I kind of really connect with one. Like in Destiny, the Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. Well, you saw some people that were like Hunters for life, Warlocks for life, Titans. They had T-Rex arms, but they were my favorite. You know, it really felt like being able to play the front line, and despite their limitations, you had shoulder charge and things that made you feel really powerful at times. Till they nerfed them, of course. That's a conversation for another video. But Anthem, I don't feel like I need to be locked down to one. I don't have to pledge my loyalty to a ranger or the interceptor. I can be like, yes, I want to play interceptor, and I personally made a video, check it out, about what I think the interceptor is going to be, and I really hope this is going to be stealth. But you could have that kind of stealth go in. Maybe for certain missions, it's better to do the stealth. Maybe when you're doing a stronghold, you want a more tanky situation where you can play the Colossus. But for the most part, I'm looking forward to the fact that all of them appeal to me in some way or another. And they're different enough where it doesn't seem like I'm just choosing an ultimate. You know, the weapons are varied, the abilities are varied drastically amongst all the classes, and just being able to go ahead and play around with them excites me greatly. I want to see a lot of customization, and we'll see how much I really enjoy it depending on the level of customization. But it seems like there's going to be a very large focus on the RPG element, similar to Monster Hunter from what I understand. So that makes me really excited. That makes the end game a lot more fun. You get to really just kind of focus and tune your character so that it's just the way that you want it to be. You know, kind of min-maxing certain attributes that really appeal to you. Like for me, I want to just fly around. I talked to a few of the BioWare devs, and they wouldn't tell me anything. They were really good. They wouldn't tell me anything. But one question they did answer, and first off, I want to address that. The BioWare devs are the most professional nerds I've ever met. They are awesome. I felt like I was able to really just talk about like their game in a way that I could see the passion behind their eyes, as well as talk about the games they've worked on previously, and just really get a lot of joy out of that. It was really an honor to talk to them, even just for the brief moment I did. But with that, the only question that they answered is, can I fly forever? Now it's kind of a yes, kind of a no from what they said. There are ways to expand how long you can fly for, just with your freelancer perks, because the freelancer skills and abilities are different than your javelins. So you rank up your freelancer, you have that, and that carries over to all the javelins. You don't have to rank it up multiple times, which is awesome. So I personally want to just maximize that exploration, be able to fly for as long as I can, stay in the air always. And there may be certain javelins that are better for that too. But from what they said, it's kind of a yes. You can, from the footage that I've seen, fly around. The way it works is a meter fills up, and with that meter, once it overheats, you'll fall to the ground. But you can use things like water. You can fly through a waterfall and it'll cool the jets back to zero. You can continue flying. Or you can dive down real quick underwater, where it starts to change your meter from a kind of an overheat system to how much oxygen you have. And then you can fly back up. Another one that I saw, which was the ground and pound for the Colossus. And I'm really looking forward to that, because you can fly yourself up, ground pound down. You can do that as many times as you want in a row. It might not be the best tactical thing to do, especially if you're going against enemies who aren't just the lowest level, but you can do that. You can absolutely just have fun with it. You're not limited to playing one style, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to the fact that in games like Destiny, where in Destiny 1 they had kind of that you could make a melee type of build, but then took all that away, or you make a long range build with a good sniper and just all the perks around that sniper, or you make it all about your ability. They took a lot of that out and made the playing field a little bit more even, which was more fair, but stopped being more as fun. So in this game, since they don't have to focus on PvP, they can make it fun by making you go after those things that you want, those play styles, enabling your play style. Maybe I just want to be up close and personal. Maybe I just want to stop and just explore, not even play the game, just explore. You can do that. You can have a play style of being like the assassin from one way or another. I really hope to see all this in there, and it looks like it is. I feel so much better after E3 of everything that's going on, especially with microtransactions. But, you know, that's just a few things there. And I'm rambling, and I get that you're probably like, yeah, you're going on. I get it. You're a nerd, and you like this game. Also, you look like PewDiePie 2015, which I get a lot, which is whatever. I'll take it as a compliment. It's 2015 is before the racist comments, so I'm good to go. I'll probably edit that part out. I don't know. That's really bad. Alright, so I really enjoyed a lot of Mass Effect. I mean, Mass Effect 2 is clearly just wonderful. It's fantastic. Mass Effect 1 was great as well. Mass Effect 3 had some flaws in the story mostly. I think that it did a lot of things right with getting it towards that kind of Andromeda gameplay, because Andromeda, even though it got a lot of backlash, there were certain things that I liked about it. Especially since all of Andromeda's movement and flight and kind of mobility has been kind of implemented in Anthem. That the mobility is awesome, but the whole idea of Anthem stemming from this company that created Knights of the Old Republic, which is definitely one of my favorite games of all times. Mass Effect also up there. It's just, I want to support the companies that influenced my childhood, that influence the type of games I would want to make. Because if I were to make a game, it would all come down to a lot of similar elements. I want to play this game because this is fantastic. This is fantasy to me. This is where I want to go in my dreams. If virtual reality could take us into that sort of space, this is one of the places that I would like to live, you know, to be able to explore, to be able to see everything. But more importantly, BioWare has created wonderful games time and time again. And sure, there's been mistakes here or there. I'm not going to say there wasn't. I'd say every great company makes mistakes. But every now and then they're going to get something really right, you know? And I think if we don't get at launch a perfect game with Anthem, I think that getting up in an uproar or anything like that is going to make it so that we no longer get the games we want. We should be supportive of those that inspire us, even when they aren't perfect. Because eventually, with enough love from us, they're going to give us, they want to give us the best. I know that. They want to give us the experience that they want to play, that they think we want to play. And I see that after E3, I can tell that EA isn't completely hands-on anymore. You know, they still have some microtransactions, but really misdemeanor offenses of just like nothing serious. No loot boxes, it's great. But it's just a company I believe in. BioWare is a company I believe in. And one last thing. before I go. Having games like Anthem. Now, I don't think it's going to be a Destiny killer or super competitive with all the other games. I think it's going to be very similar to Destiny, Monster Hunter, few other titles, but it is going to feel like its own game. It is going to be Anthem. I'm looking forward to that, and because of that, and because of the ideas they will introduce into that, the other games that have certain similarities have to improve. If Anthem does a lot of things right, maybe not everything, but a lot of things right, and people support that, all the other games that you like to play, that I like to play, are going to get better. They're going to see, oh, wow, BioWare did something really unique here. Maybe we should do something like that. How can we take this concept and adapt it to our game? You know, without copyright infringement, but give them some new ideas. Because before Monster Hunter, Destiny, for example, it didn't really have any competition. You know, maybe Warframe, but they're super apples to oranges, those two. So if this is a little bit more similar, which I kind of hope it is, to be honest, I have no problem with games competing. It makes them both better. But because of that competition, the game that I spent 4,000 hours at least in will get better. Actually, thinking about it, that was just Destiny 1 that I played for 4,000 hours, not Destiny 2 included. So, I still love that game, and it's just gonna get better the better Anthem does. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it a great deal. But, as always, this is an open discussion. This isn't just you agreeing with everything I say. I want to hear from you. Leave down in the comments what you think. Whether you think I'm crazy and Anthem is just, it's terrible, it's not well thought out, production team had issues, EA, whatever it might be, or even if you do agree with me, let me know. Let me know what you think. Expand upon my ideas. Tell me about the games that you love and what this reminds you of. But until next time, have a great one.